Good afternoon, everyone. It's April 27th. I'm Eric. I'm here at globalresearch.ca. This is pertaining to the Greater Israel Zionist Plan for the Middle East. The following document pertaining to the formation of Greater Israel constitutes the cornerstone of powerful Zionist factions within the current Netanyahu government, the Likud party, as well as within the military or Israeli military and intelligence establishment. And this was originally published in 2013. Apparently it's been updated because they talk about President Trump here. President Donald Trump has confirmed in no uncertain terms his support of Israel's illegal settlements. Moreover, by moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and allowing for the expansion of Israeli settlements in the occupied territories and beyond, the U.S. President has provided a de facto endorsement of the Greater Israel Project, as formulated under Yin-Nun Plan. Now, I've heard the Greater Israeli Project, or Israel Project, but not the Yin-Nun Plan. It's Y-I-N-O-N, for all of you who are OCD about pronunciation. Part of my problem is I have a bunch of scar tissue on the inside of my lip and on the roof of my mouth, so it makes some things hard to pronounce. Bear in mind, this design is not strictly a Zionist project for the Middle East. It is an integral part of U.S. foreign policy, namely Washington's intent to fracture and balkanize the Middle East. Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital is intended to trigger political instability throughout the region, of course. According to the founding father of Zionism, Theodore Herzl, some shit I can't pronounce, it's H-E-R-Z-L, the area of the Jewish state stretches from the Brook of Egypt to the Euphrates. According to Rabbi Fishman, the Promised Land extends from the river of Egypt up to the Euphrates. It includes parts of Syria and Lebanon. And again, they are basing everything on the Old Testament promise to the Jews of that land. So pretty much, it looks like they want to take Damascus, all of Syria. Really, it looks like they want to take all of Syria, all of Jordan, half of Egypt, maybe. No, about a third of Egypt, and a chunk of Saudi Arabia, all of Iraq. So, and because of the Old Testament, they're going to get their shit back, they say. Alright. When viewed in the current context, including the siege on Gaza, the Zionist plan for the Middle East bears an intimate relationship to 2003 invasion of Iraq, the 2006 war on Lebanon, the 2011 war on Libya, the ongoing wars on Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, not to mention the political crisis in Saudi Arabia. The Greater Israel Project consists in weakening and eventually fracturing neighboring Arab states as part of a U.S.-Israeli expansionist project with the support of NATO and Saudi Arabia. In this regard, the Saudi-Israeli rapprochement is, from Netanyahu's viewpoint, a means to expanding Israel's spheres of influence in the Middle East, as well as confronting Iran. Needlessly to say, the Greater Israel Project is consistent with America's imperial design. Greater Israel consists in an area extending from the Nile Valley to the Euphrates, according to Stephen Lendman. A near century ago, the World Zionist Organization's plan for a Jewish state included historic Palestine, South Lebanon up to Sudan and the Litani River, Syria's Golan Heights, Haran Plain, and Dara, and control of the Hijaz Railway, Jordan, all the places I just said in that map. The Zionist project supports the Jewish settlement movement. More broadly, it involves a policy of excluding Palestinians from Palestine, leading to the eventual annexation of both the West Bank and Gaza to the Israel or State of Israel. Greater Israel would create a number of proxy states. It would include parts of Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, the Sinai, as well as parts of Iraq and Saudi Arabia. According to Mahdi, some shit I can't pronounce, a global research in a 2011 global research article, the Yinon Plan was a continuation of Britain's colonial design in the Middle East. The Yinon Plan is an Israeli strategic plan to ensure Israeli regional superiority. It insists and stipulates that Israel must reconfigure its geopolitical environment through the balkanization of the surrounding Arab states into smaller and weaker states. Israeli strategists viewed Iraq as their biggest strategic challenge from an Arab state. This is why Iraq was outlined as the centerpiece to the balkanization of the Middle East and the Arab world. I know it's very offensive to people for me to call them Arabs, but I can't help it. In Iraq, on the basis of the concepts of the Yinon Plan, Israeli strategists have called for the division of Iraq into a Kurdish state and two Arab states. One for Shiite Muslims, the other for Sunni Muslims. The first step towards establishing this was a war between Iraq and Iran, which the Yinon Plan discusses. The Atlantic in 2008 and the U.S. military's Armed Forces Journal in 2006 both published widely circulated maps that closely followed the outline of the Yinon Plan, aside from a divided Iraq, which the Biden plan also called for. The Yinon Plan calls for a division of Lebanon, Egypt, and Syria. The partitioning of Iraq, Turkey, Somalia, and Pakistan also all fall into line with these views. The Yinon Plan also calls for dissolution in North Africa and forecast it as starting from Egypt and then spilling over into Sudan, Libya, and the rest of the region. Holy shit, that's a mouthful. Greater Israel requires the breaking up of existing Arab states into small states. The plan operates on two essential premises. To survive, Israel must, 1, become an imperial regional power, and 2, must effect the division of the whole area into small states by the dissolution of all existing Arab states. Small here will depend on the ethnic or sectarian composition of each state. Consequently, the Zionist hope is that sectarian-based states become Israeli satellites, and ironically, its source of moral legitimation. Now I'm going to tell you about Jewish morals here. At least the Talmudic ones, the ultra-Orthodox and Orthodox ones. Now, I repeat this information frequently, so it fucking sinks in. These people, when they give a baby boy circumcision, the rabbi, Abby, cover your ears. The rabbi sucks the penis of the baby that was circumcised. Okay. That is fucking disgusting, man. Seriously. Viewed in this context, the war in Syria and Iraq is part of the process of Israeli territorial expansion. You might recall the interview with General Clark. That's what this was all about. In this regard, the defeat of U.S.-sponsored terrorist ISIS al-Nusra by Syrian forces with the support of Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah constitute a significant setback for Israel. Good. Now, this is probably pretty fucking long here. And I just don't have time right now to go through every bit of this. So I'm going to leave the link for you in the description box so that you are able to read the rest of it. You get the fucking picture. You get where this is going. Israel will be the flashpoint for World War III. Israel will be the cause. And the United States, we're going to get wiped out almost immediately after the start of World War III with an EMP or the weapon of indignation. So, and that's where this is all headed. And they're trying to steal land from long established countries, and they're using military power to do it. I see no reason why that wouldn't. It's the exact location the Bible refers to in Armageddon. So, Book of Revelations, whatever. It is where Armageddon is supposed to take place. And we, the Americans, the American military, isn't going to have any part of that battle. We're going to be done before that battle. So, hope everyone has a great day. And remember, kill the state before the state kills you.
I'm no free.